I think it's to look at the world with an open book, with an open mind. Because when you face a difficulty, you tend to look at it as like it's the end of the road for you, when it's really not. It's the beginning of a success maybe for you.
Welcome everyone to LifewithLiza podcast. Our mission at LifewithLiza is to share people's stories and the challenges they have overcome so that those who are listening in can get the strength, the courage, and the hope to be their better selves. Today, we have a returning guest to LifewithLiza podcast, and she is actually one of the first people I've ever interviewed. She's actually one of the people who made this podcast happen because of a funny story and our Instagram live not going live. She impresses me in the aspect of her constant thirst for knowledge and self-improvement and never giving up and doing whatever it takes, moving countries, finding different job opportunities, starting the side hustle, learning every day beyond the work hours and beyond that, building communities, connecting with people, and just being such a pure heart and soul. And you'll see the energies that she exerts is just beyond beautiful. Jamie, welcome back.
Hello everyone! Liza, thank you so much. It's good to see you again. And that introduction is like, whoa, so many compliments, and thank you very much for that. Thank you for welcoming once again in your podcast. I really do appreciate it. When I watch you, you have such a glow that inspires us, a lot of women and men, to touch, our side that wants to unleash our potential. You are somebody that people should look up to. And I'm happy to be.
Thank you so much, Jamie. And thank you for noticing that, I've also made the progress with the podcast since the first episode that we made and now the introductions. And I just always think that, the small steps that we can take on a daily basis and actually over time, it leads us to such a huge improvement that we don't even know how we've come that far. And also something that I constantly see on your stories and everything that you share, you're always learning something. You're always attending some meetings or seminars or pushing yourself and also motivating others to push. How do you actually find this? What fuels you to be so thirsty for knowledge and self-improvement?
I think the biggest thing that impacts me the most and made me go out for the knowledge, for studying and going out for trainings and attending meetings. It's because I wanted to create change. And as per me, I am just a normal woman, but I wanted to inspire other women as well, that even you as a normal, as a Filipina here abroad, you can make a difference, even the small steps. I believe that through doing my side hustle business, I can be able to impact more women. And the biggest factor for me is the fear of regret of not doing what I want to do, or fear of not being able to achieve my dream life makes me want to go out more and learn more from people who have gone out and become successful in their business. And I wanted to bring out to other people that, even other people, they can make a difference, even in their small little steps. And that inspires me, fuels me.
When you're saying that everyone can make a difference in their small way, or just like by doing some small steps. But I actually do think that if only we knew the true impact of the small things that we do or the small steps that we do, we would realize that there are actually no small things. Because some impact, even of your tiniest step, it could be even a post that you created or you mentioned something, but it could have made someone's day or their lives, I don't know, because you just helped them. So there are no truly small things, but I really, really find it inspiring, your approach, and also that you actually use the fear of regrets to push you forward. and not to freeze you or to stop taking action or to be disappointed. So how do you actually use the fear of regret to do that?
First is to identify what biggest regret you don't want to have in your life. For me, I'm young and I don't want to grow up like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, not really accomplishing and realizing my actual goals and potential in life, like barely maximizing and living the mediocre life. That's for me. And, I've always lived in my comfort zone back in the Philippines. And once I'm lived out abroad, I'm open to different ideas. I'm open to different people, that this is not just the life you're living. There's more to life than being just in your comfort zone. So the biggest regret, you have to identify that in your life and start taking action, facing that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because, as you mentioned, once you identify something and you gain that clarity, you kind of have this like force that from which you want like to push away, and then you also have some goal and you push towards that, and it's helping you because you have forces from both sides. You have the goals that pull you forward, you really really want to do that, and also what you really don't want. And I think that's our overlap there, because one of my biggest fears is just to never realize my full potential and just to not achieve everything that was planned for me, or everything that I could have achieved. And I almost feel like it's our like moral obligation to the world to show up as our best selves and to offer our gifts to the world, and we're just stealing from it if we're not doing so.
I mean, look at you. You've gone successfully on your podcast and it's making a difference to someone else's life. I mean, I admire really your consistency and your positivity with every post that you take, and that should apply. I mean, everyone should apply that in whatever course they take into.
Yeah, thank you so much, though. And I also wanted to touch upon an interesting topic, which is self-limiting beliefs. And which actually self-limiting beliefs have you overcome recently or are in the process of overcoming? Because I think if we want to achieve success, there's a lot of self-work that we need to do. And actually, who we are now is not yet our best selves. And that process involves overcoming so many limiting beliefs. So which ones are you working on now? And which ones have you already overcome, if you'd like to share with the audience?
Okay, limiting beliefs keep us in our comfort zone, and it's not a good thing. If you're running your own business, it's not a good thing that you're just keeping in your comfort zone. So one of the factors, limiting beliefs that I've had that I'm still constantly overcoming and keep improving myself is that talking to other people, like other nationalities, or like my Filipino countrymen, like it's hard for me to connect with other people and get them to understand my business. So it's hard to keep up the communication, and I wanted to let them know what business that I'm having, and the limiting beliefs that I've had is, fear that I'm not good enough in my own business. Like I don't know how, like I'm not that I haven't achieved yet the income that I want, and that factor for me limits me from achieving, like taking one more step towards my business. Like in running your own business, like you will get across people that might reject you, that hinders you, like they don't believe with what you believe in, and it puts this negativity in you that limits you from achieving whatever you want in your goal in your life. So that's what I'm working on. My limiting beliefs is believing more in myself and presenting the business opportunity to other people and communicating to my prospects, my clients. That's what I'm working on right now.
I just think that, being in business and being an entrepreneur is the ultimate self-development journey, because it shows you all your limiting beliefs, all your weak spots. It just like shines light on them, shines light on them, and it pushes you to work so hard on yourself and to get better. And I think that's why I'm very attracted to the entrepreneurial lifestyle, because I love this idea of constant improvement. I love this idea of constantly seeing what I'm not good at yet. And what you were saying, that you have identified that, for example, that you have a certain limiting beliefs based on your experience in business. And I also think it's very important because as you are in business, you know that many times you'll get the no and being rejected, and you just need to move forward. And it doesn't necessarily, it's not a no to you in particular, just a no to something that you offered. But how do you actually deal with that? And how do you not let it affect your confidence and still keep pushing forward and showing up?
The thing is, when we face rejection, it's just a redirection to the course or to the people that's right for us. Don't take rejection as a negative thing about you. Don't take it personally. Take it as a learning experience that this person is not the right for me. This opportunity may not be applied to their life. So maybe right now it's not the perfect timing for them. So I just move on and keep focusing on the vision that there's more people out there who needs the solution that I provide, who needs my help. Just focusing on the positive perspective that 1 out of 10 may reject me, but there's more 10 people out there, 9 people out there who needs me, who needs the opportunity that I'm offering to them.
Jamie, if your conversion rate is 9 out of 10, you must be the best salesperson.
I mean, I'm still learning. We're still growing, right? We're facing our fears. There are good days and bad days in business, but we just need to keep focusing on the vision that we have.
And also tell me about the first time you got rejected, because I really like your approach to rejection, that rejection is just redirection, that the person is not maybe right for you, or it's not the right time for them, and just to focus more on the positive. But tell me, the first time you got a certain no or rejection, how did you feel? And was it as easy, irrational like that? Or did you have more of emotions coming in?
Personally, I am a very emotional person. So when people reject me, I really take it personally. I would sulk for many days, and it doesn't bring any progress to the business. And at the first rejection, I can't remember, but I've had a lot of rejection, which really determines and helps me what do I need to improve on my approach. Maybe I didn't present it the way they connected to the business itself, or maybe I'm not good in speaking, or I didn't communicate better. There are times that I really cry, but what do we do? We don't just go back and cry. We take up a stand, we move on, and we just focus on what we can do.
Yeah, I love that. I love that approach of actually taking the learnings and focusing on what we can do. But I also do love that you were so vulnerable in sharing that you do cry, and it hits you quite in an emotional way. And as all of us, we are just human. So of course, whenever we do feel it, whenever someone doesn't reply to us or says no to us, it's hard to not take it personally and just constantly looking for things we can actually control and learn from. I think that's a very, very empowering approach that you're taking.
I mean, if they reject us, it doesn't mean that there are thousands out there who needs your help. Just focus on that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good way of thinking about that. And also, I wanted to ask you because we spoke, I think it was a year, or I think a little less than a year ago. So ever since then, what have been one of your biggest self-development aspects that you have discovered, or any new discoveries that you came across that you would think that are very, very useful for our audience to hear, or any stories that happened to you since then and were just, you had life epiphanies?
That's a good question. So far, I believe that one of the greatest thing that helped me and changed the view of what happened from last time and to this time, I think it's to look at the world with an open book, with an open mind. Because when you face a difficulty, you tend to look at it as like it's the end of the road for you, when it's really not. It's the beginning of a success maybe for you. But if you got a closed door, it doesn't mean it's the end of the road for you. It just means that there's an opportunity, a better opportunity waiting for you. And I'm doing my business part-time while I'm also handling a full-time career in a corporate setting. And I've had a lot of interviews. I passed out my CVs, and there's a lot of rejections right now, but I believe that it's not the right job for me, but it's just a redirection to something even better, the best job for me. Okay, so open yourself up to possibilities. Don't close yourself, and don't become too emotional of what didn't happen, of what the opinions of others. Don't cling yourself to the negativity. Connect yourself with positive people that have come across and have succeed more in life, and they've been to the kind of life that you wanted to. So that's one of my biggest lessons that I've had since we've had the previous podcast.
And how, Jamie, how do you stay so positive?
I mean, there are good days and bad days. I'm not always so positive, but when I have bad days, those moments that I just want to quit, I just remind myself that it's not a bad life. It's just a bad moment, a bad day. So I'll go out and smell the flowers. I mean, it's a simple thing, but it makes me happy going out to see other people, embrace their positivity, and learn from what they're going through. Maybe my problem right now is, I think my problem right now is too big. But when I listen to other people of what they're going through, their challenges, it makes me wonder that I am blessed, I am grateful, and what I'm going through is I can overcome it, because you're given challenges that you can overcome. It's
I love that.
It's not a bad life, it's just a bad day. So we have a choice whether to think that I'm always not gonna be a beautiful person, or whether I'm a person that will that has a lot to improve, but I'm growing. I may have a flaw. I may have setbacks from here and there. I may have failures in business. I may have failure in relationship, or something bad happened in office. But this doesn't determine the course of my life. It's just a building blocks to a better future for me. So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Definitely. And I think everything in the answer that you just gave was showing that you have a growth mindset. And I don't know if you've heard of the definition of growth mindset versus fixed mindset, but basically, for anyone who is listening in or watching this and have not heard about it, but growth mindset is that you think that even if you're not good at something yet, you can always get better. You can always overcome the challenges if you put enough hard work, consistency, and you're disciplined about that. And fixed mindset, when you think that you are the way you are and you cannot change something or you cannot grow, and you feel very insecure and not confident because, of course, if someone criticizes you, they just criticize you, and you are like, and you don't think that you can change, so it could feel very painful. So everything that you were just saying before that, you just said that whenever challenge it is, it's also temporary. I can overcome it. I can grow. I can get better. And I think it just is such a good testament to growth mindset and how it actually is so beneficial to navigate our lives. Because once we adopt the growth mindset, our lives do become easier. Not because they're actually easier, but because the way we look at it is more empowering.
Absolutely.
And also when you were mentioning that just like doing simple things like to interrupt the negative day would be to go out for a walk or smell the flowers and just ground yourself in the present moment. It's also so empowering. And actually it's something that I also do a lot, because I feel like whenever we are in a negative state, it's almost you are in it like a fish in the water and you cannot see it because you are in it. And then only once you actually interrupt yourself by doing something else, like going for a walk, grabbing a cup of tea, taking a nap, working out, whatever it is, then you kind of move away from it and you are so grounded in the present moment, and you realize that the real life is just not about all of these bad things happening, but actually you can like smell a flower and see how beautiful it is, or see a little ant crawling on the flower, like, oh my god, imagine the world that that little ant has.
I
This
love
is the actual world. Sorry?
I love the example, the little ant.
Yeah, but I also think about it that the situation that we are currently in this world with so many stimulations, so many stresses, so much happening, it's quite unusual for us. And I do believe that the world that it used to be before it was way more less stimulant, and also we spent a lot more time connected to nature, to people, and not always in such a stress state, because it would be only if something bad is happening, like you're running away from an immediate threat, you would be stressed and then you relax. And now I feel like with our 24/7 jobs, side hustles, and then social media, having our phones, we're in the constant state of could be in a constant state of stress or negative state. So it's very important to recognize it and to know what works for you to get out of it.
Yes.
And what do you think about, do you feel that you live in a more of a stressed state than you would have liked? And if you have any techniques that you apply to relax, to unwind, to ground yourself?
This is when I was having a bad day, a rough day at work. I told myself, okay, I need to go out. And I rode down to the park. I rode a bicycle and just feel the air, feel the nature. Because when I don't go out and walk to the park, I feel like I'm not myself. Like the tension, the stress is building up. So when you're having a bad day, don't just build up. Don't just accumulate all the stress, absorb all the stress, let it out, do whatever you want. I mean, go out and as I've said earlier, smell the flowers, whatever it is that makes you feel more calm, meditate in the nature, just relax and release all the tension, because we're not getting young. We may not have all the time, so the stress is always there. But the only way to break it down is to release it to another medium, right? So walk to the park, do yoga, meditate. That's for me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, 100%. And I was also wondering, because one of the things that I feel like causes a lot of stress would be lack of connection, lack of the community feeling, or actually seeing people that you love. And I know that you moved from Philippines, so you outside of your comfort zone. You live in United Arab Emirates. So do you also feel lonely or the lack of connection and community? And how do you deal with that?
How I deal with it, I'm very fortunate right now to live with my brother, that I have a family here in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, and I made friends. I made sure to have a community that supports me, that brings out positive energy, because if you don't have an outlet from your problems, you're gonna just feel this loneliness, this homesickness, which a person doesn't deserve to feel. So it's not a good thing that a person is alone, or lonely. There should be a community that she lets her frustrations out, her dreams out. She should share her beliefs to someone that will support her. So one way is that I found a community, and I found people that I know that's gonna help me in my dreams, and I just focus on my business and making a difference. That's what I'm focusing on. So it's hard to live abroad and leave a few friends in the Philippines, but what to do? We have to make sacrifices. We have to make decisions that we don't like. But at the end of the day, we have to balance it out, the negativity and the positivity. But focusing on what you can do on that time. So I focus on creating positive community here in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, and I think when you mentioned making the decisions that you may not like, I think may not like short term, but actually long term are better for you because you're moving closer to your dreams, and that's like the ultimate sacrifice and the ultimate balance that we're trying to achieve. So absolutely, and I love that once again you focus on the positive, and once again you focus on what you can control, and actually building a new community, meeting new friends in where you are now. And that's just what I love about you, that you do that in such an incredible way. Anyone who's just watching and listening it, always we can all learn from you and focus more on the positive and what is in our control, and that would lead to a happier life for sure. And before I ask my last question, where can people actually reach out to you, check out your business?
You can find me on Instagram at Jamie S'mores, or on Facebook I have Jamilyn Dupay. Yes, JAMELYN So people out there, you can reach out to me. I hope I could give you some valuable lessons and sharings today. You can reach out and ask for advice anytime. I would love to hear your stories. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And my last question to you would be, what is the vision for your life that you have at the moment? What is the big dreams that you're pursuing?
The biggest dream would be having the freedom to do what I want, meaning that I could, do my own business, do my business full time, while making a positive impact and reminding women like me working here the same course, that make them realize that there's another opportunity for you, that there's a bigger life than this, not just not just working from 9 to 5 job, and reminding women that we have this potential that we can unleash. We have greatness within us that we are just waiting to discover. And one of my biggest thing is to create a community worldwide. One day we're gonna have a convention, and people from United States, from Netherlands, Switzerland, from United Arab Emirates, or the Philippines, or Canada will come together, and we'll just do this positive event that will just cultivate our uniqueness, our challenges. We'll talk about challenges, our problems, and how we can support one another. Yeah, that's one of my biggest dreams.
That's a very beautiful dream, Jamie, and I will for sure be there representing the Netherlands or Ukraine or whichever country you would like me to represent. I'll for sure visit there. Jamie, thank you so much. What did you say?
Let's do it one day. We will be raising our flags, and you will be doing your talks about how you become so successful in your podcast, and we'll talk about other people and like how they have achieved their success as well. Like, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I'm so excited.
100%. Thank you so much, Jamie, once again. And I really enjoyed connecting with you once more. Your light shines through you, and I really feel the beautiful energy all the way across half the globe from our different locations.
Thank you so much. You can reach out to me anytime. But I'm so excited to meet you once again, and thank you for this opportunity to share the vision of what I've been through this past few months. Thank you so much.